How do I change careers and still maintain my salary band? Hello, mortgage. How do I gain experience in the new field if all my background is within a different area?
Yeah, I saw this one pop up, and I think it's a really good question, because I think we often think if we have to switch to a new career, you really are starting from ground zero, but you're not. You have a huge amount of transferable skills, or what we sometimes call soft skills, which is how you show up, your work ethic, how you interact with people, how you structure work, how you deliver things, how you communicate. So you need to really make sure you don't underestimate those. As an example, I personally moved from digital strategy into design, and I think it was quite successful to do it within the same company. If you want to move careers and you move companies, you're basically evaluated against other candidates that are a really good match for that profile, and you may not have the same foundational background. One of the other things, if you're thinking about switching, that I think is helpful is to think about the value proposition and the financial trade-offs between in-house roles, startup roles, and consulting or agency. So you need to sort of weigh up, hello, my mortgage, I've got that financial burden versus what am I going to learn if I really want to accelerate in a new industry? And I would generalize it that consulting or agencies, high learning, really dynamic, really interesting work, a lot of room to try new things, but the pay isn't always as high. If you compare it with a startup, it's all hands on deck. You definitely will do adjacent roles, and the payoff is later if there's an IPO or being bought out. And in-house roles are cushier in terms of salary, and it's much easier to transition between roles, but the pace of learning can be lower. So you just need to work out those trade-offs for yourself, because career progression is really whatever is best for you.
Yeah, no, that's really great advice. Thanks, Tara. Did you have anything else to add, Sharon?
I think Tara covered all of it. I guess I just reiterate the as you say, the importance of transferable skills, and maybe kind of looking at your stage of life, like where you're at right now. Maybe you are needing to have more financial stability, and therefore you've chosen to be in this particular place because that's your value right now. And our values can change. And I think, maybe when you get to another place or another stage in your life, your values might be slightly different, where maybe financial stability isn't as important and it's more about exploration and learning. So I guess it is just about knowing yourself and knowing where you are in your life and what your most important values are right now. But I love what you said about transferable skills, because I think it's with anything. Everyone always thinks we started from scratch, and it's even in a new relationship, you never start from scratch. Even with a new therapist, you never start from scratch, so you always start from experience. So I think that's just reiterating what Tara said.
Yeah, no, thanks,
Sharon. I like that point about also, I was just going to add, Sharon made a good point about know thyself. So if you know, for example, you're probably not going to be the top candidate in switching careers, probably sending in your CV is maybe not the best approach, because you will be evaluated against other people who have this really long, robust CV. So knowing thyself, think about how would you approach the role differently. So real life example, I was working in digital strategy. I made an internal move into design, and then I wanted to do an external move into design. I knew for myself, if I sent the CV, I would never get up to bat. So I said to a recruiter, I'd like a meeting with this company for this role. I'll send my CV later, but I want to meet you and tell you how excited I am and how much I know about the topic. And I also sent them actually a clip of a YouTube video of me speaking in front of a big group about design. So they knew what I was talking about, but that CV wouldn't have done me justice. But if they met me or they heard me talking about my work, then they would understand that, I've got the goods. So that element of know thyself, think about how are you going to approach and get in front of the right people if the CV isn't maybe the best route for you.
Yeah, that's really great. Thanks, Sarah. I think just even quickly to add, like when I've changed careers a few times as well, and sometimes what's worked for me is I've just actually sent my resume to the jobs I like, and you just keep sending them, and it's just kind of luck sometimes to have someone on the other end just be like, yeah, let's give you a chance for an interview, and then that you obviously have a chance then to shine. So it's just having that confidence to deal with rejection, I guess.
Yeah.